What the hell?
You didn't know what you were coming into, did you?
I
Who's
didn't know.
coming, the real Kaz or the fake Kaz?
I didn't know you were drinking today.
Oh, I don't drink.
I know.
Could you imagine if I did? Holy crow.
Oh, Kaz.
Man, oh man, I tell you. Smoke on the water. There's fire in the sky. We should have.
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host...
Could be a trouser. Wow, here we are for week 2, and we're back.
Wow, 2 in a row.
Wow, what happened?
I don't know.
As usual, I'm Kaz Kwiatkowski, City Councilman, and my good friend again.
John. No, it's not John. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a last name.
Are you going incognito?
And my name is Incognito. My first name is In, and my last name is Cognito.
That'd be a heck of a name.
It would be.
As usual, the rules are any subject you like to talk about, anything at all. And with that,
Wow, nice.
go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead. You're on.
Hello?
Yes, you're on.
Hi, DJ.
Hi.
Kaz.
How you doing?
He said that because he called me at work, and I said, "You never say hello to me when you
Oh.
call Taxpayer Hotline."
DJ's happy now.
Yes, I'm very happy. How's it going today, sir?
Pretty good. How about you, DJ?
It's going very well, thank you,
Boy, he's
Sal.
really-
Yeah, he's really pushing it now. Okay, you can stop.
Did you televise Steppenwolf live or?
No, we did not. We technically were not even recording it.
Oh, you weren't?
No, we just put it up on the big screens. Yeah.
Why, do you like Steppenwolf?
Yeah, they're hits. I've seen them on PBS.
I seen him the first time they hit Erie. I'm embarrassed to say that.
Wow.
It was somewhere around probably 69 or 70. They played again in auditorium.
Nice.
That's sponsored by one of the fraternities or?
You know, I'm not sure if that one was. Usually they had 2 big shows sponsored by the fraternities. That might have been something else. But I remember, if I remember right, it was a bad day. The weather was kind of crappy. And they did come in late, they did a nice job, but they had to.
Yeah.
It's not like today when, these things are all set up. And
I was going to say bad, crappy weather. Does that ever happen in Erie?
But I mean, can you imagine setting up a concert like in about an hour?
Oh, wow.
Today they got to have everything set up. And
It takes us like 2 days to get set up for a festival.
Yeah, I mean-
for one band, yeah.
yeah, they were good. How were they? Did you watch them or?
No, I didn't go down.
People told me they were good.
Yeah, it was good. They were fun.
DJ, are you allowed to re-televise that?
We do not have permission as of yet, so there will not be any televising of any of the Roar on the Shore bands yet.
You mean you had to get approval from Manufacturers Association?
We have to get approval from the bands, and Steppenwolf already told us before the concert, no.
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 Really?
They said no. We can put them up on the big screen, but we're not allowed to air them.
No way, no shape.
Well, I don't know who else to ask.
Well, if he's yeah, it's a lot of times. I learned that over the years. It's amazing that when you deal with copyrighted music and everything, even the bands, when kids in the school, they had to get permission, and
Yeah.
it gets to be, sometimes they won't do it.
Yep, it's sad because I'd like to re-air. I mean, I think we had 3 good nights. I mean, all 3 bands, Count 77, Steppenwolf, and Dee Snider were all really entertaining, and I would like to be able to air them. But
You're not allowed to air any of them?
nope, not yet. I mean, I still have to make sure I have permission before I do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be liable for a lawsuit.
Yeah, I'd rather not be
They
sued.
may change their mind. You never know. DJ's a pretty. Maybe he puts another request in. Who knows?
I'll check around.
Maybe the manufacturers can get them to lighten up a little bit,
Yeah, we'll see.
So it'll take a little time then before you would ever get permission.
Yeah, I mean, I'll announce it as soon as I know.
Okay.
And your question about that show, you called up about a fluoride show and you wanted a copy. I can give you a copy.
I didn't. I can't use a copy because I don't have a.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't have a, what's a,
DVD player. He wants to see this one show that we have.
you don't have a computer even, sir?
No, I don't have a computer either. Okay, that is a reasonable price, though. Only $5 for a 3-hour show. That's
Yeah. Do you have a VCR or a TV?
working.
Huh?
I don't have one that works. Okay, well, I'll call later if I think of anything else.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a-
Yeah. Thank you, Sal.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Yep. Take care.
Yeah,
I feel
I
bad.
heard it was a good show.
I want to give him a copy of this show, and I don't know how to do it. I'm gonna have to buy him a DVD player.
Well, it's amazing that once we've gone from VCRs now,
Yeah.
and now you're into DVDs, and some DVDs they're really hard to use. I mean, I'm not like the savviest person, but I can usually figure it out.
Sure.
I've had trouble lining up some of my DVDs to record and stuff, and
Yeah.
there's like whole new stuff you're into.
Yeah. There's a lot of technologies, and it's hard to keep up.
Well, it is, and bad part is like at least if you had a computer or something, you probably could play it on there. But
Yeah. We'll figure something out. I'll pick a special time and I'll re-air that show just so he can see it during the day.
I keep waiting for a day more TV channels have more available in the back.
Yeah.
Like if you miss an episode,
Yeah.
or some of them don't have the what do you call it, fallback technology, start over again.
Right. Like you have to have a DVR for that.
And even like Time Warner says, well, if you're out of town, it works. Yeah, if you can watch what they don't have everything available either.
Yeah. Well, I had a request from one of your viewers this
Yeah.
weekend. I ran into at the festival, and he wanted to know if there was any other way for him to get your show, and
You mean other than TV?
other than the TV, because he doesn't have one of those boxes,
And he's not going to get one.
and he's
right?
not going to get one.
Not even a little one.
No, he's taking a stand, and he's not going to
Okay.
get one. So I told him that you're going to be on the internet soon, possibly.
Right now, only the old shows are.
Only the old shows. They're all on YouTube. But we're going to try to get you guys set up with a web stream so that people can, if they at least have a computer, they'll be able to see your show live. So we're working on that.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have
I'm amazed that a lot of stations are going that route.
Yeah. Well, it's all on the internet. I mean, TV technically, I don't want to say this, but it's dying. It's not really dying as much as
TV,
it's,
you mean?
it's not dying. It's just changing. The way it's delivered is changing.
Well, I think the world is progressing so fast that
Yeah.
I mean, the other day I was thinking, all these rental stores, they're all gone.
All the video stores, yeah.
I can remember when I was first married, they had one where you had to go in there and rent it out and go in a booth. Then somebody got smart and said, well, once people start buying more of them when they got cheap,
Yeah.
then they said, well, people don't want to come in a booth and watch these,
Yeah.
So, take it home with you. And then, of course, you had that. Then after that, you had Redbox and Netflix.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you had the VCR tapes are gone. Now we're into discs, So you were all over the place. And, of course, now the kids get their entertainment from Hulu, Roku. It's like, whatever I can't keep up with it,
Yeah, there's a lot of services.
And yeah, you're right. People are starting to say, the heck with DirecTV, the heck with Time Warner.
Yeah.
Of course, at the bottom line, you're going to pay. Like I tell kids all the time, or young people, I said, it may be free now, but it won't be free forever.
Yep.
Because if they get rid of cable and they get rid of TV, the people that produce the shows still want their money somehow.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for it one way or the other.
Yeah, you're always going to end up having advertisements. There's no way to escape it.
Or you're going to have a fee to get the service, or
Yeah.
if you want to watch like the NFL, if it goes off of DirecTV and it goes streaming, well, you're going to pay for it somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll intercept it, and they'll come up with a way to non-intercept it, and
Nothing is free, and
it's just the way they deliver the product. And it's going to be amazing that, what did I hear some people say? Digital is bad in some areas, during bad weather.
yeah,
They wish you had the old way. But in the old way, I can remember when people in, like Phillips, right outside of, like Wattsburg, couldn't even get Channel 12 some nights.
oh yeah,
And the weather was bad. So, everything's changing. It's the way it's delivered. And,
yeah. I fear change.
well, it's coming, and if anything's changed, it's those little phones now.
Yeah,
You got a camera on there, you can TV on there, you put games on it, it's basically, they used to laugh when you read Dick Tracy.
yeah,
He walked around with that wristband. But think about it,
Yeah.
these are pretty close.
yeah. This is a little big to strap on.
What can't you do on there? It wakes you up, keeps track of your,
Wakes you up, puts you to sleep.
got your calendar on there, it's got your
Microwaves your
pictures on there, right?
burritos.
I hadn't done that yet, but. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, I'm waiting for Mr. Wagner to call.
I was supposed to see him last week, but he was busy doing something, and I didn't get to talk to him, but I do plan on inviting him. He's got, like I said, he's got an open invite,
Yeah, it's in
but I will bug him a little bit to come on here.
think he's out. He's not watching the program.
He does a lot of golfing when it's warm out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think he's retired. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, probably.
yeah, you don't want me on a golf course, but if he's out there and he's having fun,
Oh, well, I'd like to hear from him if he's not on, but I'd like to hear him call in.
Yeah, I have to bug him a little bit. I usually see him sometimes once a week. So I run into him, but they told me he's been golfing, like
And where's
doing
he
everything.
on? Why hasn't he called in?
That's a good question. For a while we were off, and maybe he got. We got to build when you're off for a couple of weeks. It's a little tough. People are not sure if you're on again. So,
Are we even on right now? I don't know.
well, we should be. But I will get him on there for you. Okay?
Yeah, well, at least if he calls in, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple of times. He has some new opinions. It'd be.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah, he is. He's very knowledgeable. Sometimes he irritated certain people, but hey, that's not a bad thing,
No.
Hey, people fear the other guy that asks questions, and if everybody's shaking their heads like the sacrificial lamb, that's bad. You got to have a little varying opinion. Doesn't mean they're going to win their day, but sometimes they do, and you need the other shoe, as I say, so that you know what the pros and cons are.
Yes, I didn't get to watch the completion of the city council meeting, so I don't know. I suppose you voted no on that luxury of having Mr. Clem come back.
It was a 4-3 vote.
Yeah, I agreed with Bob Mursky that it seems like a luxury. I know that Mr. Jim Clem's a great guy. I've always had good contact with him. He was always accommodating when I had questions for him.
Yeah, I have, Jim's a good friend of mine, and I'm sure I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but there were just too many unanswered questions. And Bobby, myself, and David Brennan decided, we didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, it was too much of a luxury to spend that on. He does have a lot of knowledge, that's for sure.
Well, you got to be careful when you're telling the public that you're short on some things. You got to watch the perception.
Yeah.
And I had a few phone calls, and they weren't too happy. That alone didn't sway me, but
In favor of paying him, they were in favor of the consultation.
I mean, there were other ways to accomplish it. I just don't think we all felt that those that voted negative didn't feel like we had discussed the alternatives.
Yes, it should have been plenty of time for the new people to be retrained on educated in the job.
Well, we'll go forward and see what happens, but
Yeah, okay, well, hope some of the regulars call in. Thanks, Kev.
yeah, I'm hoping so too, but DJ and I will get pretty bored after a while.
I'm pretty bored right now. I'm going to leave.
Oh, there you go.
Kidding.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Thanks.
Kev. Thanks, DJ.
Yep, thank you. He says my name every time now. Now I feel bad.
You really put the pressure on that poor guy. Now, this guy won't say DJ to you. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, I just wondering, you know what's going on across from St. Mary's there? They're knocking all them houses down.
Oh, across from the church. I didn't know. No, I can find out for you.
St. Mary's home.
Yeah, oh, that one.
Yeah, they knocked 2 houses down already. Someone said they bought the whole block there.
Wow, I just went, I haven't been by there recently.
Yeah, just in the last week they knocked 2 houses down. And there's people living in a couple of them. I heard they bought that whole block. I just wondered if...
Well, it couldn't be for parking, I don't think.
Well, they have that parking lot. I'm thinking
Yeah.
maybe they're going to use the parking lot to build some... they have...
Maybe they're going to expand again?
I don't know. They haven't said nothing. They haven't submitted nothing, or...
I'll check with, before I go home today, I'll go upstairs, if I can catch them before they leave. I'll see if anybody knows what the reasoning was. It was a couple houses, right?
Yeah, there's 2 houses, but some said they bought the whole block from. It would be from Reed to Ash there.
Was that on 26th Street or on the other side?
On the south side of the street there,
Oh, okay, I mean, it's on 26th Street, right?
28th Street.
Oh, 28th Street. Why did I say 26? Yeah, and I go by there a lot, too, and I don't know why I did. I haven't been by there for the last couple of days.
Yeah, they started knocking them down last week. They got 2 of them down, and said there's people still living in some of them. But someone said that they bought that whole block, and they're going to knock them down. So
I bet you they must have expansion plans, and then they probably need more parking.
yeah.
It'd be interesting. I'll try to find out for you and report next show.
Okay then.
Hey, thank you for calling.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, that place is pretty big now.
Yeah. 28th between Reed and Ash.
You ever been by there?
I know I've been by it, but
It's a nice complex, huge. It looks very nice shape.
I'm gonna have to take a look just to.
They just did like a little
Fresh.
project a few years ago on it, where they expanded. Of course, unfortunately, people my age are, where the baby boomers are starting to, get ready. Most of them are starting to retire already, so
Yeah.
you're probably looking at, more growth in assisted living and things like that,
Right. Well, growth is good.
So you got to meet the legendary John Kay, huh?
Well, I didn't meet him face to face, but we got to do video production for him. I still don't know who he is. I'm sorry. I just know he does music, but he's big and eerie. So
Good crowd?
it was a very good crowd. I mean, all 3 nights were really good.
I mean, the music was pretty good.
The music was good. Even the 3rd night with Dee Snider was really cool. I mean, it wasn't like super heavy. It was just really good. It was good. It looked good. It sounded good.
Well,
Everybody had a good time.
Steppenwolf was how do I say, the catalyst
The Catalyst.
for motorcycle music.
Really?
When he did the music for Easy Rider.
Oh, wow.
That's where a lot of those songs came from, the Born to Be Wild and all that.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Yeah, he was huge. When I was in college, he had a nice string of hits.
Yeah, I know I've heard a lot of them. I never was into that music from back then, but I've heard them all and I know them all.
It's amazing when they used to come in the old days when they did a concert was promoting the album.
Yeah,
Today it's about the show.
the show.
Yeah, it's a whole different, Go ahead, caller.
Oh, am I on? I'm on?
Yes, you are.
You're on.
I'm calling about that very, very poor decision on City Council's last meeting about this Jim Clem situation. My question is, you have a solicitor chance to at least make a remark before you, what they think of it before you make a decision like this?
Well, actually, if they can be consulted, but basically, if council, and like I say, I'm only a brand new member of council. When I was on the school board and things, when I was there, it was the same kind of, if you felt like you needed a legal opinion, you could ask for it. But no, they don't always ask the opinion of other people. It doesn't have to. They may ask a solicitor from a legal standpoint to give them opinion, but once they've made their mind, and because we have what they call a caucus meeting, and it was discussed there, and it was discussed about a week or about 2 weeks before that. So I did what I did because I didn't feel comfortable with it, and I think there was too many unanswered questions.
Well, absolutely. I know the three, but I'm just surprised Jessica made that decision. Oh my God. I don't know. She wants to run for mayor. I don't know if it's going to go.
Yeah, I was out of town, and I missed them. I had some questions, and they weren't answered. So, as far as I was concerned, it wasn't the kind of message you want to send to the public.
Absolutely not. No.
And especially
$70,000 isn't enough for someone to live on. It's beyond my comprehension.
I mean, we might have gone along with, there were other things we could have looked at, how to accomplish it. But, in the end, I had a few phone calls negative, and I do listen to them, but, I put everything together, what I felt, the public thought about it, what I felt I thought about it, and it didn't feel right for me to vote yes, so.
Well, I think most people feel that way. A per diem deal would have been perfect,
Oh yeah, we thought about that. In fact, that would have been my suggestion, is that either cut the contract down a little bit in scope, in size, like don't make it 2 years, make it like 3 months or 6 months, and then look at it, or go to per diem, which I think is fair,
Okay, I'm going to let you go.
Well, thank you for your opinion, because the only way you learn as a councilman is when people do, feel free to call us, especially me. I like it, because I like to know what they're thinking out there in the city too.
Good, yes.
Hey, have a nice day.
Take care.
You too.
I'm going to call you now and ask you a question.
On the phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I better turn it down. You know what's going to happen, don't you?
No.
You ever been in like church or the theater when this goes off?
It goes off at the worst possible time.
I was in a Warner one time, and somebody's phone went off.
Yeah.
Not a good scene. The ushers were down there like 15 seconds. And two things were going to happen. The purse was going, or the purse and the person were going. One of the two.
Wow.
They get the phone out of the purse and get, the stage show was going on, and all of a sudden go, ring, ring. Oh. Right in the middle of a Broadway production.
I had my phone turned up at a wedding I just attended, and I was so glad that it didn't go off, because I was standing up front with the wedding party. I was up there, and I'm like, I didn't turn my phone down. Oh, and I'm trying to get my phone and turn it off, but I'm on camera, and there's stuff going on, and I couldn't. So I just kind of stood there, and I'm like, please don't let the phone ring. Don't let the phone ring. Don't let the phone ring. Got through
You
it.
ever watch when the phone rings, everybody's like...
Everybody is like...
And even the guy who's got the phone, he's looking around.
Yeah.
No, it's in your pocket, Bob.
I told myself if it happened, I was going to pull it out of my pocket, and I was going to throw it out in the field just to be...
That happened to me at a council meeting. It was kind of embarrassing. I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, I always turn it off, and this time I didn't.
Yeah. Got to remember that. It's modern problems, Kaz. We got modern problems.
And the person said, is the meeting live? Or, yep, it is. I'm done. So you had a good time. You taped the Roaring Shore.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, the first night we had a power outage, but it actually didn't go too bad, because as soon as the power went out, of course, the beer tent lost power, so that was the worst thing that could happen. But I turned on the generator for the truck. We got our stuff up and running, and then we plugged in the video projectors to the truck, so we were able to still show everybody back.
You don't have any
behind.
emergency power, do you?
Well, that was the generator. That was it. Everything went black for a moment, and then I'm like, oh, we should probably turn the generator on, and I did, and it went well. It really went well. It looked good. There were really no major issues.
That's amazing in itself.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend.
I think it was one night at the Civic, I used to work outside the Civic Center doing, when I was a young man, and they had Reba McEntire was in town.
Wow.
And it was a bad night. It was raining and thundering, lightning. All of a sudden, twice the lights went out in the theater. And the ushers come on, they go, "That's the calmest crowd I've ever seen." People are there with their little lights, their lighters.
Well, it's Reba McEntire fans. It's not like they're going to be like heavy metal, bashing their heads. And
Yeah, they were thinking, oh man, your seats are going to get trashed.
Reba. Everybody starts chanting and getting up and taking the chairs and throwing them. That would be a sight to see.
Would you ever watch, like they just won the soccer in Brazil, they lost.
Yeah.
And they trashed the city.
Yeah, their fans are interesting, to say the least.
Well, we do in America. You ever watch when they win the World Series? It's like take your car off the street.
Take your car off the street, yeah.
Take it out to the suburbs and hide it.
Whether you win or lose, it seems you got to be careful, because people get kind of crazy.
Yeah, why do you want to tear down your city when you win?
We won, destroy everything.
I mean, the Brazilians, you go, well, they lost, but I mean, that doesn't justify it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow sports, so I don't get that hyped up about stuff. The last time I got mad or upset about something was when the Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lost 4 years in a row. That's when I stopped giving a darn about football.
there you go. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, how are you? Good afternoon.
Good, we're doing good.
Hi.
Good here. I got to turn down the TV. I couldn't find your TV show on my television.
Oh, you know what? We're on time delay, so turn your TV down a little bit first.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, I think I know what the problem is. DJ knows. You got you had to tune it in manually, right? No?
Where'd you find us?
Usually I just punch in like 08 or 09, whatever the local government channel is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone if you have a TV hooked directly into the cable, but you can see us if you have a digital TV and you punch in, I think it's 79.
Or rescan your channels, right?
I forget what it is now, but it's like if you rescan the channels, we're in the 70s or the 90s.
70s and 90s. Oh, okay.
How'd you find us?
Yeah, how did you find us?
My brother, he's a listener of yours, and I called him real quick, and I said, because I just got in the door, and I said, hey, he's not on TV. Last week he wasn't on TV, and he goes, yeah, he's there. You just, and then he said you're on a different channel or something.
Okay, so he gave you the right channel to punch in?
Well, he didn't know. He gave me your telephone number because time was, of the essence.
If you have a digital TV, you can find us in, like I said, it's 79.9 or 97.7. It's one of those numbers with a dash in it.
Oh, okay. 79.
97.3?
Right. Well, anyhow, what are you guys talking about today since I just got in the door?
Nothing really. We've talked about a couple, the contract with the city clerk. We talked about Roaring the Shore.
Oh, don't get me started on that, Clem.
Oh.
That is such a slap in the face to the woman that's taken his position.
Yeah, like there's something to be said about that. I mean, when I left the controller's office, I kind of, and the young lady that took over from me, Miss Stankiewicz, she'll ask my help when I need it, and that's fine. But I told her, I said, you really don't want me hanging around, because you gotta learn to do things your way,
Yeah.
When they interviewed her, and forgive me, I cannot think of her name right now, but they interviewed her on local news, and she was all excited, and she said, he has taken me under his wing, and he's taught me so much, and now I'm excited to get on my own and, try some ideas on my own, and then to have this, to me, that as a woman, that's a slap.
She'll be okay, she's going to be like, every time you take a new job, I mean, I always say, like, when I took over the controller's office, I had accounting skills, but, you still have to learn the nuances of the job, and that's, it'll take a while, but, hey, you know what? There's good people around her, and...
Well, here's my issue here. Who in the heck cannot live in Erie on $70,000 a year, first of all? I mean, that's like a bonanza. And then to get an extra, whatever it is, 10,000 or whatever it is, But, here's the other thing. Because I know you voted against it and all this and that. Have these other council people, have they not driven on city streets? Do they not know in what disrepair they are? Do they not realize that we don't have enough policemen, that money could have gone to better use?
Well, yeah, I often wonder that because, we made a message, and this is what scared me. Whether you agree with the jobs program or you don't agree with the jobs program, whether you agree with different things, but you're right. I mean, when you make a comment like we don't have money for this and that, would 12,000 make a difference in the streets? Not really, but it would help,
Well, hell yeah. I mean, you have to listen to Senate. Every penny counts,
Well, sure it does. I mean, it's one of those things that is 12,000 a lot? No, but it's a symbol of you can't get up here and say that we can't do things. Like, when you hear people badger us, not badger us, but question us at the meetings going, we want money for this program, that program. We don't have it, It just...
But that's why I only get the paper on the weekends, because I can't afford the whole doggone week. So everybody has to learn to budget their money.
Well, I've had to cut back. I mean, when it's no secret when I stepped down from the controller's office, I mean, that was a little financial hit, and that's okay. I knew that. So I'll be on Social Security shortly, and you just learn to, you don't go out all the time you used to do on the weekends. Maybe you don't go to the movies twice a month. Maybe you'll go once a month or none a month, Like you say, ma'am, you do what you have to do.
Now listen, I have another issue.
Go ahead.
I'm hoping that you can help me on this. This property down here that Vendetti owns.
Oh, which one, 38th Street?
East 38th, yes. Next to the Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
He is like thumbing his nose at the city, because I know you guys went and you got it posted.
Yeah, I did, but that doesn't do any good, and I got to go upstairs after this meeting. And are you the lady that wrote to me on the...
I am the lady that wrote you, and I was going to write you a follow-up to thank you for at least, arranging to get it posted. But now here's my other... Now he's like thumbing his nose at the city, because now he's turned it into a used car lot.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, he had a Chrysler 300 for sale up there.
Was that him, or is it somebody just leaving it there?
I called the number that was for sale sign, and I said, is this your property? Because I thought for sure it was Vendetti.
Yeah.
He said, no. And I said, well, you realize this is private property? And he goes, nah, I don't know. And I said, and it is posted, And he was like, I could care less, lady. What do you want the car, don't you? But now he must have sold the Chrysler 300, because now there's some crappy box truck up there with a for sale sign on it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna take a ride up there. But if you see anything like that, send me like you did an email, or feel free to call me and leave a message.
Right now.
Pardon?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, and I'll go up there and I'll have code enforcement, or have the police check the plates out. At least we can find out. Yeah, that's not his only piece of property. He's got one at 38th and Liberty, too.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? It does look crappy, and I'm going...
Guy doesn't have the money. I
told him when he was here at the meeting, I says, I reluctantly voted on that project because I think in the long run it'll clean up the lot there.
We saw where that went.
And hopefully you'll put some tax money back in the coffers. But if, when I go to Pizza Hut, it's kind of embarrassing. You look out there, you park your car and you got weeds and graffiti and...
Well, it's not only embarrassing, it's unsafe. Because you can't even walk on that sidewalk. Not only do I walk out onto 38th Street, I've seen dozens of people walking out on East 38th Street. Now, that's insane.
And it's in those weeds, too.
Oh, heck yeah, that's another reason why I don't want to walk in there.
I got the residue from that because I'm getting like woodchucks and,
Yeah.
oh, God knows what lives in those weeds, you know.
Well, I want this guy to know that just because he has money, he can't just thumb his nose at us citizens.
I might have to give him my own call, you know, just, I've never done that, but, you know.
Maybe, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be, maybe we do need somebody with a softer touch. And maybe a phone call, a little nudge is all he needs.
Yeah, I mean, at least cut the field down a little bit. I mean, you know. I got weeds next to my house. They do, you know, you have to bug them a little bit, but they do, well, they don't cut them perfect, but.
Yeah.
There's, like that, if you've seen it, the weeds are like, oh, God, they're what, about 5 feet high, ma'am?
Oh, 5 feet? No, more.
Maybe more.
I'll just take a run.
Yeah.
They never go away, because even winter, they just kind of like die.
Yeah.
And they brown up, and then, you know.
It's really sad when I pay my taxes and I can't even walk my dog on the sidewalk because of somebody like him.
I don't, you know, it just seems like the problem's getting so big and eerie that it's almost like being ignored. It's not isolated no more, so everybody goes, you know, that's just the way it is, and I'm going,
Oh, wait a minute. I think I just found you on the TV, and you look so handsome, too. Oh, there you are. Oh, you look handsome.
only my mother says that, but
Both of us? Uh-oh.
that's bad.
Son, and he has the plaid shirt. Right, I got the volume down.
Well, we'll have to bring you on the show, then it'll really look good, right?
You got that right. Well, listen, go give that attorney Vendetti a call for me.
Yeah, I'm going to take a ride by there again. I noticed the car that was there, and, you know, but then I was on vacation. I didn't see it after I came back, but.
Yeah, well, now you got a truck, so if you're interested in a truck.
I have a feeling it's going to be like what used to happen up at Grandview Plaza, until the plaza merchants, the guy that owned the plaza would say, you know, you can't park your semis here, you can't park your used car, and that's what happens, you know, empty lot, they'll put the used car there, high volume road, high visibility.
Yeah. Hey, Kaz, all due respect to you, but maybe I should be talking to the Pizza Hut manager and not you.
You would think he would complain too, but.
I know if I was that manager, I'd be complaining.
How about the house next to him? Is that occupied?
Yeah, and you know what? They fixed it up really nice a few years back, but now I see it starting to go downhill. It really needs, like, paint.
I mean, I get mad when the guy next to me, do you know where I live?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I have a field next to me, and I get really ticked when the weeds get high and they start falling over in my yard. I look at that and I said, why isn't that guy, like, complaining, you know? If I had to look at that all day.
Hey, I have one more idea.
What's that?
Okay, the city sweepers.
Yeah, they were out today.
Well, see, they used to be on a schedule where they'd come up in the residential area, up in this neck of the woods, the day after garbage pickup, which makes total sense because, you know, if there's stuff that, you know, falls out of the bags or whatever, this, you know, then the sweep.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, all of a sudden, for the last half a year, or better than a half a year, now these damn sweepers are coming up the day before garbage night.
Well, that's not good.
Well, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, my garbage night's Thursday, and they came around my street today, which wasn't bad. I mean, it was after Thursday, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming the day before, that don't make sense because.
And then if you ever look at the streets after they're gone,
yeah,
what they do is gather the pop cans and the leaves and the twigs, and they deposit it at the drain sewers because the drain sewers sit so much lower than the streets. So then you got flooding when it rains. I'm telling you what, I should take over as mayor.
There you go. Well, it's open in a couple of years, so.
Oh, he has a couple easy years ahead of him, doesn't he?
Well, you never know. You know, when you think things are going to be good, you just never know what's waiting around the corner.
You never know.
I say take the street sweepers, retire them, and have free brooms for everybody in the inner city. And if you give free brooms to everybody, at least maybe 20% of the people might use them.
Do you remember when if you're close to my age, do you remember when they actually had guys going down the streets with shovels?
With the snow shovel, the metal snow shovel?
Yeah. They used to get these big wide shovels. Wow. Oh, yeah. That's when we had, well, in those days, labor was cheap and the city had a lot of money. You know, the city was the center of the universe.
Right.
Had all that tax money.
You know, Tulio had it easy. he was doling out money because the federal government, while he was in office, the federal government was doling out money.
Yeah, then it dried up, but...
Yeah, then it dried up.
Yeah, you don't got a bad idea. Think about this. Think if people did, like in the old days, I can remember people would hose down their front.
Yeah.
And then they would take a broom and put the dirt out in the street, and then the city would come by and clean up the dirt.
Yeah.
It was like an order to the universe.
You can't do that now because now people pay for water. Years back, we didn't pay for it.
Yeah, but I mean, even the idea about just going out there and taking a broom and cleaning your sidewalk down,
See, this is why I think the mayor should have like a legacy, and he should have clean sweep Erie, and like buy hundreds and hundreds of those corn brooms.
Yeah.
And just dole them out to the people. They're bound. Some people are bound to use them.
Well, yeah, it's not a, Ruby, when she was on council, she used to have her annual cleanup of Parade Street, like.
Yeah.
And she'd go out there with a broom and everything, Well, we kind of do that now, you adopt a road but yeah, what happened? What happened in the old days when I was a kid, you'd see the merchants on Peach Street, State Street, French Street. They'd be out there every morning with a hose or a broom.
Oh, yeah. You know who still does that cleanup in her neighborhood is that magistrate, Sue Mack.
Ah, really?
Her and her husband, they pay for a big dumpster, sometimes two dumpsters, and they put it down there. And I know they have the spring cleanup, but you'd be surprised how much people just...
Well, if everybody took care of their neighborhood a little bit. And, when I was a kid, everybody knew where the elderly people were.
Right.
And, you shoveled their walk or you did what you had to do.
And you didn't even have to be told to do it. You just went and did it.
Yeah, if they did that today, like when you read about volunteers going into neighborhoods and cleaning them up, and the people are sitting there having coffee, drinking while these people are cleaning their front yards, I'm going, wait a minute.
Now you got me thinking, here's another thing that is a thorn in my paw. You see on TV this Habitat, where they build houses for people?
Right, Habitat for Humanity?
Right.
Yeah. Did you ever see any volunteers? You might see a few here and there. Did you ever see anybody working on those houses that were under the age of 60 or 50?
Not often enough.
I know, these kids that claim, well, there's no jobs in the area, and there's no school. Go and volunteer. That's how I learned to use a hammer and a saw. I followed my dad around, and I watched what he did. They could learn a whole trade by volunteering and going up to these houses.
And most of them have to have, volunteer time anyway.
There you go.
As a like graduation requirements or confirmation requirements or different things. Or,
I thought you were going to say as a criminal.
No, today just to get out now, just to get out of school.
It's called community
You got to put a couple hours of like community time.
Yeah.
And like I remember a couple kids going for Eagle Scout. They had to have projects and.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you go because I really appreciate you letting me vent.
I will. We're going to have to get Mr. Vendetti to clean up over there.
Yes, I wish somebody, please call that guy.
Yeah, it's like a blight there when you ride by there and you go, come on,
Is it mainly weeds? I'll go over there with my weed whacker. I got a saw blade on the end of my weed whacker. I'll just
maybe that's what we have to do, have an embarrassment day,
Yeah.
And while you're at it and you're making phone calls, call that guy that owns property up there by the bayfront when you're heading when you're heading north, and you come to the...
Oh, you mean the building?
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. The guy has all this roof, brand new, white, brand new, and then at the very end, he couldn't put up one more section, and you can't tell me that somebody from the city hall couldn't strong-arm him and convince him to do that.
Well, the last they told me was they admitted that they had an agreement with him, and for a while, right around the time, I think Jimmy Thompson was still alive.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
A long time ago.
well, yeah, it was, but when I remember we would complain, and then you'd see the guy add on a section at a time. He was actually, doing it, but all of a sudden it's dried up. This lady's right; it just dried up.
Yeah.
And here's the bad part: there's people working in that building, so I think the city's like caught between. They don't want to strong arm the guy too much, but yet you got a piece of a building that looks like it's ready to blow out into the highway. I mean, you got literally, when you look at the roof.
Yeah, it's really impressive when you come into the city and see that.
Well, think of the wind. The wind gets underneath those, some of those things are ready to collapse or
A lot
blow
of
up.
people work in a building with no roof,
Well, they're in the other half with, it's got the roof.
still.
Where we need a mayor with a little finesse. Pick up the phone and just have a conversation with the guy, man on man. How do they say that? Mano a mano?
Yeah, something like that. Because you know what, it's, people that come in, it's one of the, it's not like the Premier Way coming into Erie, but it could be from, people that take the Bayfront Highway through Barron.
Yeah.
It's in a part of Erie is that what you want to be seen,
Yeah.
on your highway?
All
Especially,
right, I'm gonna hang up now. Say hello to Mr. Vendetti for me.
I will.
Take care.
No, in situations like that, can't the city offer him at least kind of like advertising? Say, this person, so-and-so, if you got Vendetti to clean up his area, supports a clean city, and then
Yeah.
put him out in promotional materials.
Maybe we have to do a show on Channel 2.
Channel 2.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, the end of Cranch Street, there's a guardrail, and it's pretty well beat up.
At the end of Cranch?
Yes.
And,
Like the first pole is completely disconnected and bent over, and the guardrails are bent back.
is it a cliff there at Cranch? I'm trying to remember.
It's toward the end, and it's a metal.
I'll take a ride over there and see if that's ours, and which it probably is. We'll have to see if Streets can do something about that one.
Yeah.
End of Cranch,
Because if somebody does smack it, they're gonna damage your car pretty good.
the end of Cranch, guardrail's beat up pretty bad.
Right.
I'll take a ride over there either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
That's it?
Right, yep, that's
Hey,
it.
thank you for calling.
Thanks.
Bye.
Where is that? What's the street?
Cranch, Cranch.
I've never been on that street. Where is it?
I can find it, but
Yeah.
I can't tell you how to get there.
What's
Which
it
one?
near? Give me a landmark.
It's east side.
East side, okay.
You want to take a ride with me? I'll take
Yeah,
you.
we should really seriously take a ride and check out all the stuff that people report.
Wait, remember that one?
We can take pictures.
Remember the alleyway that I got a call on?
Yes.
That was interesting. I almost didn't find that. No, I mean, when I went by there, I said, I've lived down there all my life.
Yeah.
It was down by Bayfront. And I go, the guy said it's right about here. And I look and I go, wow, you could have, it looked like a big driveway,
Yeah.
Then I drive up there and I said, holy crow, there's hot things here I never saw.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of things in Erie that you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Little roads, little streets.
Yeah, I'm available weekdays. I'm here every
Sometime when you're
week,
bored
all
out there
week.
taking a-
Dude, I'm bored every day.
When
man.
when I do these, I'll take you around. 'Cause I got a couple things I got to check on from before.
That's fine. That'd be awesome.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, that Cranch Avenue, that's on East Lake Road. It's right next to Lakeside Cemetery.
Ah, okay.
Thank you.
I knew it was on. I knew it was down there, but I wasn't sure how far over.
Okay, thank you.
Is it where that guardrail is? Is there like a cliff on the other side?
I don't know. I don't know too much about the street, but I know where it is.
Yeah, it's one of those streets that you remember just because of the name. Got to find out what it was named after. Probably some gentleman or some family. Thank you for calling.
Thanks.
And also, Kaz,
Yes.
and also, I just want to make a comment about that vote. I was really glad you and the other two councilmen voted on that to down that Jim Clem. I mean, that's ridiculous as heck.
Yeah, I just had too many unanswered questions, and I wasn't comfortable.
There was too many unanswered, and there's too many yes guys up there other than you and maybe a couple other ones.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
if I ever step out of line, call me and tell me,
You never know, okay, guys.
We'll see. We're probably going to get the sign pretty soon.
The sign. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. What, do you got a message?
No, I'm just checking my time. If I flip my phone up, it's supposed to turn the screen on. It doesn't work half the time. 2:56.
Wow. See, I'm behind a little bit.
Yeah. I hear movement. I think, 4?
Is that 4?
Wow.
This reminds me when I was in football, you know, go do that again. 2 fingers and I'm in San Diego. I'm not in San Diego, and that's not 2 fingers? Uh-oh. I got dinged pretty bad.
We could do it street style. We could do some sort of gang sign. We could be like, you got 4 minutes.
We gotta get a gang sign, right?
We need a gang sign, you and I. The Taxpayer Hotline gang.
You go down the street, go. Whatever that is, right? My wife one time took her to a baseball game.
Yeah.
I can't tell her over the air, but you know, the guys are going, she goes, what is that, you know? And I said, well, that's the signals, you know.
Yeah.
What do they mean? I said, well, that's the thing, you don't know unless you're on the team. I said, you can try to figure them out. I said, but.
Right.
And I was trying to explain to her, there's an indicator, you know, that was it, you know. You know, they didn't want to hear about it, you know. But I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
One sign.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, they probably got some really interesting ones. It was more like he was taking care of an itch.
Yeah, I did all these things today, you know. I'm going, man, you got to remember all this stuff, you know. What happened in the old days? You just come by and you go, hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah. Oh, I can't even understand handshakes these days. I can understand the fist bump. People don't want to shake hands, so you do a fist bump. I got that. Yeah, right. But then some people are like, you got to do this, then you got to do this, then you got to do this, and then there's all sorts of stuff. And then they give the man hug, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable with man hugs. I'm not into that.
Were you ever in well, you didn't go to college, did you?
No.
See, in fraternities, they got the secret handshake.
Oh, yeah.
And so do some organizations.
Yeah, yeah.
It works, though. When you're out of town, it's a rainy night, and you see these familiar letters, and you knock on the door, and password and all that.
I'll have to teach you the secret cat handshake one of these days.
There is one.
There is one.
Is a cat handshake?
It's terrible, yeah. I'll teach you now.
We got to do something with cat.
I'll teach you now on TV. This is the cat handshake. Just
like this.
Go forth and produce.
Like that?
Yeah. Just go forth and produce.
You don't even go like that, huh?
No, you don't. We don't do the live long and prosper. We don't deal with that. I think we just violated the copyright. We can't say that.
What copyright?
Live long and prosper. I'm sorry. It's a Star Trek thing.
I didn't even do it right, so he can't come after me. Yeah, we got to do something like maybe a Halloween show on Channel 2.
We could do anything you want to do on Channel 2. Oh, sorry.
Maybe we'll take you to. I'd have to get permission from this guy. There's a certain guy in here. He has his garage all decked out at Halloween.
That would be cool. I'd love just to go and get some footage of it.
He'll put you to work if you come. He did me last year.
Work. I can't work. I'm lazy.
Oh, no, it's not work. It's fun. Scaring the heck out of kids is fun, man. I'm telling you. And the adults. You get behind a wall and you go, ooh. Yeah.
My aunt used to have a big Halloween party. She had a mansion. It was like this really huge old house, and she would set up the basement, and she'd have her husband hide in like a white gorilla suit around a corner.
Really?
And they'd put like fake bars up, so there's like people in bars and severed heads, and they'd pass around a bowl of grapes, and it was eyeballs supposedly. So she used to go all out for that stuff.
You know this kid, and I'm going to ask him if he can.
All right, that's good. You'll have to let me know who.
I didn't think it was a big deal until I went there one year and I go, holy crow. I said, this is bigger than I thought. This might be him. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
I know who this is. I can tell by the static.
Yeah, you're on.
Hello, DJ?
Yes, sir.
DJ?
Yes.
I was just thinking before Celebrate Erie, try to clear with bands if you're allowed to re-televise.
That is what we do we've done that.
Allow you to televise, and why do it? Just instead of Celebrate Erie, do the Blues and Jazz Festival instead.
Right, I mean, we've done that every year for the past 18 years. We put it out there to the bands, and we say, we need your permission, you need to sign this form, and a lot of the times they'll come back and they'll sign them and we'll be okay. But there are some times when we do specific festivals like Roar on the Shore, a lot of their bands just say no. Like, we'll have the permission signed, and then we'll get there, and the bands will turn around and say, we've decided we don't want you to. And it happened. In this case, Steppenwolf did not okay it, and we don't know about the other two bands yet.
Probably local bands, they love the PR.
Local bands love it. We do the local bands, and they want to be on TV.
For sure. It's a chance to be noticed. You never know.
But we do that every year. When we do a festival, I just talked to the person upstairs in charge of Celebrate Erie and said, we need the permissions from the bands so that we can come in and we can tape them, put them on the big screen, and re-air them. Otherwise, there's no point in us being here.
Yeah, you did do it. I was right there when you did it.
Yep, so we need those permissions ahead of time, and sometimes they're good at signing off, and sometimes the bands just hem and haw, and then they come back and finally say no. So it
Probably the big ones don't like it, you know.
we do it, and we try our best, and we are ready to tape if we can, but a lot of the times, I had one of the bands come up to me at a festival and try to take our equipment out of the truck.
Really?
They said, well, you're not allowed to record, so I'm taking your hard drives. And I'm like, you're not allowed to touch my hard drive, get out of my truck. Basically, no, you can't just come in my truck and try to take my equipment because you guys aren't going to get paid to have us, tape you. We just won't tape you. Take my word for it. I'm turning the cameras off. It's really weird sometimes because if they don't get money for a performance, they don't want to be part of it.
Do you remember the old days about the Nutcracker Ballet?
Yeah.
People ask, how come you don't have the Nutcracker on TV?
Yeah.
Days after it's over.
Right.
Not right away, but like.
Yeah.
Celebrate Erie is a bigger risk than the Blues Festival. Wouldn't be more likely that all of the bands at the Jazz and Blues Festival would be more likely to allow you to show them?
I've never had a band from Blues and Jazz Festival say no. We have always recorded them, we always give them copies, and we always air them, and everybody, even the national bands that have come in, such as Red Barat, and some of the larger bands like One World Tribe, they're fine with it. They want it, and they love it when we record, but these national bands come in, and if they don't see the dollar signs, they don't want us to record.
I think the bigger they get up the food chain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you did Zabava, the polka bands wouldn't even bother you.
Polka
the
bands,
national ones.
They would love it. But
The
Blues and
national ones
Jazz has always been a problem. That's why I'm upset that we're not doing Blues and Jazz this year, because they couldn't find a sponsor to actually pay, which means we're not going to be at Blues and Jazz. So we did Roar on the Shore. We're doing Celebrate Erie. We're probably going to get permissions for Celebrate Erie, but Blues and Jazz, unfortunately, unless somebody can
watch that once in a while.
Yeah, unless somebody can sponsor it, we're not going to be able to be there this year because we have no real way to do it.
But you won't know for sure about the Celebrate Erie until
I won't know until
the bands actually get here.
I won't know until the week of, and some of them I won't know until the day of, and that's just the way it goes. It is, because we want the programming. We want to air it. We want to put it on the channel so people, shut-ins, people that can't get out can stay in the house and they can watch the festival.
Yeah, a lot of people like the music,
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I do my best to stay positive about it, and I'm going to make it happen if I can make it happen.
So you would have needed a private sponsor for the Blues and Jazz?
We do. We need a private sponsor for Blues and Jazz. We need somebody basically to make a donation, and then we would be able to afford to be there.
Yeah, once they lost their city funding, now they're on their own.
Yeah. So we did it for free for, almost 20 years. We did all of the festivals for free. Now, unfortunately, it's just a fact of life that we need to ask for money to be able to pay to have the equipment there and cover everything.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, DJ.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for calling.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Yep, bye. And with that, we are out of words.
Unfortunately.
It is time to go.
Will I see you again next week, maybe?
You may.
Okay. Put my glasses back
Unless I'm invisible.
There you go. I think Mike's going to put on the seal, and we thank all of our callers.
The seal. I was going to clap and make a seal sound, but I decided to be more respectable. That's not possible.
What are you going to do?
I got nothing. Goodbye.
I was going to tell you, like with the ballet, The reason why they don't broadcast it is because the Philharmonic is a professional.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.